One of the tasks you have to do for new CLAiT is to apply a house style to a document. And a house style comprises things like orientation, margins, what the font type is, and also whether it's left aligned, right aligned, and so on. So I've got a document in front of us. At the top I've got the instructions for the house style, and then underneath I've got some random text which you'll see change as we start to make the edits. So number one, the first thing we've got to do is change the orientation to landscape. So let's just see what the orientation is at the minute. I can do that quickly by zooming out, and obviously it's a portrait document. If I zoom back in, to change that I need to go to the page layout tab, the page setup group, and here's my orientation button. Click on that and then move over to landscape, do a left click there, and that will change the orientation to landscape. So that's number one completed. Number two, the margins need to have a left and right margin of 3.5 centimeters and a top and bottom margin of 1.5. So page layout tab again, page setup group, there's the margins button. If I click it, I'll get a list of options. If you go right down to the bottom, you need to click on custom margins, and when I do that I'll get an extra dialog box that will allow me to change the settings. So left and right 3.5, so I'm going to go into the left box, type in 3.5, tab across. By the way, you don't have to type in the CM part, just the numbers. Tab across to the right, type in 3.5 again. Top and bottom need to be 1.5, so I'm going to select the top box, 1.5 for that, tab across, and 1.5 again. Do a final check to make sure I've got those in correctly, and click OK, and you'll see the margins change. Number three then, the font type needs to be Arial size 12. So let's check what we've got at the moment. If I click anywhere in the text, go back to the Home tab, have a look in the font group, I can see that the current text is Calibri size 11. So we've got to change the font type and also the size to Arial size 12. So we need to select it first. Font group, drop down on the current style and choose Arial, and then drop down on the current size and choose 12. So that's the font type done. We now need to have a look at the text. It needs to be fully justified and have single line spacing. So let's see what it is at the minute. So if we click on it, you can see in the paragraph group that if I hover over this button, you can see that it's left aligned. That means that it's nicely balanced on the left hand side, and it's sort of got a bit of a jagged edge to it on the right hand side. So we need to balance it both sides, and that's called fully justified. So again, we need to select it first of all. Go to the paragraph group, there's a center align button, right align button. This is the one I want, justify. So I click on that, and you'll notice now that you've got the left hand side is balanced, as is the right hand side. That's called fully justified. Right, the final thing we've got to do then is make sure that it's got single line spacing. So again, let's have a look, select the text. The button next to the justified button is called the line and paragraph spacing button. If you do a drop down on that, you'll see the current setting, which is 1.15. So we need to change that to 1 by doing a left click. Just do one more final check to make sure we've done everything, and that completes the exercise.